It's time for Quit Jerking It! Now here's your host, Bob Fingelduper.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm Bob Fingelduper, and welcome to another episode of Quit Jerking It. I love making them do that. Well, this is the show where we rightly divide the Word of God by examining the context. Well, as you know, last week's verse was a real stumper, and none of our callers were able to rightly divide the Word of God. So the verse comes on over this week, and we'll accept some more callers, and we'll try to figure out what this verse means. So, why don't we go ahead and put the verse on the screen? Johnny? John 11:35. Jesus wept. Well, that's a tough one. I'm not sure we'll be able to figure that one out without some context. Well, why don't we go to the phone lines for a little bit of help? Jenny in Hogstroke, Georgia. How the heck are you doing, Jenny?
I'm doing just fine, Bob.
Ha, that's great. Jenny?
Yeah?
I've got a problem. I need a little help rightly dividing the Word of God. What do you think John 11:35 means, Jenny?
Well, does it mean Jesus died?
Oh, Jenny, so close, but I'm afraid Jesus died is not the correct answer.
Oh.
At least I'm pretty sure it's not correct. I think Jesus dies a little bit later, but, I was thinking the same thing. Jesus died. It made a whole lot of sense to me, Jenny. Oh, Jenny, I'm so sorry, but look, next week, phone lines are always open. We got one with your name on it.
Thanks, Bob, and God bless.
God bless you too, Jenny. Well, Jenny tried, but I don't think Jesus died is really what we're looking for here, but I could be wrong. Why don't we go back to the phone lines and, let's see, line number 4. Is this Dolbert?
Yep.
In Crack Smells, Nebraska. How the heck are you doing, Dolbert?
Pretty good, Bob.
Well, that's good to hear. Dolbert?
Yeah?
I've got a problem, and I need your help. Do you think you can help me rightly divide the Word of God?
Well,
Good. What do you think John 11:35, Jesus wept, really means?
I'm pretty sure about the first word, but I was kind of stumped on the second one, so at first I thought it meant Jesus died, kind of like the last caller, but he dies in the story, right? So I thought it was a good... But a friend of mine told me about a book that lets you look up the meaning of words. She called it a dictionary.
Oh, dictionary. Bad move, Dolbert. Bad move. Dictionary? Those are all written by atheists. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, she told me I could find one at a library.
Oh, library, Dolbert. Library. Why would you go to a library if you've got the Word of God sitting right in your lap? Anyway, go ahead, Dolbert.
I started looking in the dictionary for the word wept, and I had to go through the whole book until I found it. Took me all day, and it didn't help at all.
Well, I could have told you that, Dolbert.
Well, all it did was tell me to look up another word, weep. I wasn't going to look through the whole dictionary again, Bob, so I just gave up.
Dolbert, you tried to figure this out using man's ways. You see where that got you, don't you? You ran to these atheist publications when you had the Word of God sitting right there in your lap. Sorry, I get a little worked up, Dolbert. Anyway, you didn't give us the right answer. In fact, you didn't give us any answer, so I'm afraid you didn't help us out at all, Dolbert. But tune in next week. Phone lines are always open, and we got one with your name on it.
God bless you, Bob.
God bless you too, Dolbert. Well, folks, Dolbert didn't give us the right answer. He did not rightly divide the Word of God. He ran running to these atheist publications. Well, it didn't get him very far, did it? Just a bunch of circular nonsense, if you ask me. Well, we still need help, but looks like we're running out of time. We've got time for one more caller. Let's go back to the phone lines and see if we can rightly divide the Word of God. Line number 7. Great number. Is this Cal in Crotchburn, Texas?
Sure is, Bob.
How the heck are you doing, Cal?
Oh, not bad, Bob.
Well, look, Cal, we're running out of time. You're our last hope.
Yeah?
We need a little help rightly dividing the Word of God. What do you think John 11:35, Jesus wept, really means?
Well, Bob, I remember you always telling us about context, so I decided to try figuring it out by reading the verses around the verse. Well, the verses before John 11:35 say that Lazarus got sick and died. Well, the verses after John 11:35 say that Jesus raised him from the dead. Now, a light came on in my head, and I knew that right away the meaning was that, in order to raise Lazarus from the dead, Jesus had to get there in the first place. So the only thing that makes sense is if it means Jesus left. I mean, how else could he get to Lazarus from where he was? So, that's my answer, Bob.
Oh, unfortunately, Cal, you're absolutely right. Jesus left. And there's no way you could have known that if you didn't look at the immediate context. Congratulations, Cal. This week's prize is a lovely, emblazoned King James version of the Bible. It's got your name right on the bottom in gold, Cal. We'll have that right out to you if you'll stay on the line. Well, I'm so happy that someone finally looked at the context. Well, it felt real good to rightly divide the Word of God, didn't it, folks? Well, next week's verse is also pretty difficult. Let's go ahead and show it on the screen and give you a week to try and work it out. Here it is. Johnny? Exodus 20:15. Thou shalt not steal. Whoa, that's going to be a toughie, boys and girls. Anyhow, folks, this is Bob Fingelduper. And remember, quit jerking it.